Hello and welcome everybody, this is Eric here from northanerd.com once again asking you one simple question. Have you not played Invisible Ink? This game was originally a PC release. It released, I want to say mid to late-ish last year. Summer, fallish. It was received very well, and if you've listened to any other of our videos or any of my commentary on other games, you're gonna know that I'm a fan of the turn-based strategy game, whether it be XCOM, Civilization, not even turn-based specifically, just strategy games in general, the Tropico even, like I mentioned in the other podcast, just any type of sim-based game, Democracy 3, that's on PC, Papers, Please, games like that. I love them. Will always give the time of day for those types of games. And this is just another one of those games. When it was released on PC and it was received really well, I really could not wait to play this game. So when it finally released last month, I purchased it immediately, and I've had a lot of fun with it. It is exceptionally hard. This game is procedurally generated, I feel, to the nth degree. You'll understand that once we get into the map, but sometimes, like, even your starting point in a map can lead to very dangerous situations right off the hop. Call it unfair, call it whatever you want, but I think it adds to the element of you're a spy agency and you don't really know what's going on. And that's kind of basically the idea behind this game, is that you're a rogue agency trying to save humanity, I guess, in a way, or save yourselves from the evil corporations that have basically taken over the world. I unfortunately could not turn the volume down on the narration in between missions, so I'll probably shut up during that time just to kind of let it go, because there's no point of talking over it. So here we go. This is Invisible Ink. I'll go through it. I'll go through every piece that I'm doing, because it gets to be a bit complicated at first. I wanted to do a video on this like the first week or two that the game released, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it justice because I was still learning it. There may have been... I think it would have turned a lot of people off of this game had I done one that way. And now that I understand it a bit better, don't get me wrong, like I've said it a million times, I am not good at any of these games. I kind of have a certain strategy that I go with once I find that, and I kind of stick with it until I learn something new. So this is just me kind of playing my quote-unquote tried, tested, and true strategy. Last night I had a really good run. That I ended up on the third day, so I'm pleased with my progress in this game. But it is a hard game. And there you go. There's the other one. That's 3 days in, 17 hours left in the calendar, in the game itself. There is a meta timer, so to speak. So we're gonna start a new game. So here we go. Been a beginner, because let's not go crazy.
Get to the main server, collect the data, and get out. No detours.
Copy that, Central.
Proceeding to target. Insertion was clean. Alarm level holding steady. We need to get to the 3rd floor. We can make our way to the server room from there.
Any chatter on the comms?
Negative. It's silent on all frequencies.
They should have detected us by now.
Receiving priority 1 transmission.
They're onto you. Get out. Get out of there!
HQ compromised. We're going to need an extraction. I've got Incognita. Deckard and International are on their way.
Get to the roof. I'll cover you. Go!
Decker, how long till extraction?
30 seconds.
Get us out of here. We've got work to do.
So there's a setup for the whole game, folks. Up top here, there's all your, let's see if I can do this here. All up here are your,
Muratova is a deadly weapon in human form.
all your possible agents that you have.
I found
see.
Decker living in a bottle after his termination. He's cleaned up since then, but I keep eyes on, just to be sure. The 20th century thing is an unfortunate affectation, but I'm not paying him for his fashion sense.
Oh, there you go. We can mute her commentary. Perfect. Okay, so I don't know about you, but that setup is really like for a turn-based strategy game that doesn't bleed out narrative. That's a strong beginning. It sets up why you're doing it, who you are, and like I said, you're saving yourselves. Incognita is the computer program in which everything runs, and that's why you have that 72-hour clock. Her battery power is going to run out if we don't do something about it. So we got Decker here. Decker's, like she said, he's a drunk that she kind of rehabbed. Shalem's got a bit more of a firepower to him. Banks is tactical like International. I've actually played both of them together from time to time, and it's actually been kind of fun. Zoo and Nika I've just unlocked last night, so I haven't touched them yet. So we're going to stay with the first two. Well, I guess that's kind of... There you go. And these are your, like, your potential power-ups. That the constants, this is a passive one. This is a more active perk. I like to use the power drip because I don't like running out of power, and you'll understand what power is in a bit. And then the lockpick. Lockpick skill or parasite. I can throw a parasite into a target that breaks down their firewalls without having to lockpick them, but I haven't really used that one yet, so we'll escape that. So here we go. So there you go, we're day one.
Are you there?
I thought I
Good.
muted her.
I was afraid you didn't make it out. Headquarters is gone. The jet's stealth rig should... If that happens, Incognita's...
So basically all she said is, we have 72 hours, Incognita's dying, we need to get an answer soon. We have 72 hours to get that answer, kind of idea. That's basically what that amounted to. I thought I muted her, but who would have thought? So here we go. So here's the ship, that's where we are. And then that's our only location right now, and she's going to explain what executive terminals are in a second, so we'll just listen up.
Executives are notoriously slack when it comes to network security, and their terminals are full of interesting information. We found a lightly guarded executive complex here. Get in, find the computer, and steal their contact list. Then we'll have our pick of future targets.
So basically, hack this thing so we can get more targets through that hack. Simple enough.
Corporate firewall down. Alarm response expected.
There we go. So here we are. This is Invisible Ink, the actual game.
Bad news, operator. They caught us completely by surprise, so we have no firepower with us. The guards' weapons are gene-coded to their owner and useless to us. We're going to have to make do with what we can find along the way. We've beamed you through the security grid. You should be somewhere near the target, but you'll need to look for it. Get the list and find a transport pad to us, but be quick about it. They noticed a disturbance when we ported in, and their alarm level is already rising.
So there's our mission objectives. So if you caught all that, a lot of stuff out. We can't use their guns because they're tied to them. The security level at the top right here, way up here, if I can even get there, yeah, is going to constantly go up. And as it goes up, there's our negative consequences to that. So we don't want that to happen. So here we go. So if you look at it, it's grid-based. It is very similar to an XCOM-style movement scheme. You have X amount of movement points available, or action points, as you will. And you just kind of go from there. In the top left, way up here, you'll see 0 out of 20 power. That's important because everything requires power to hack, to control, yada, yada, yada. So, Decker here, if I press square, he has an inventory. He's got a gun, but he has he has the ability to go into Overwatch with a gun, but he doesn't have a gun available to him yet, because I could purchase that for him or find one, kind of idea. And then he can go into cloak mode, which I don't use often most of the time because I forget. Come to think about it, last night would have been a useful time to use it. But it is super useful when called upon. And then each character has a neural disruptor, which basically, just like you saw in that opening sequence, they stun gun them. They taser them to the ground, and they stay down for 3 turns. The enemies only stay down for 3 turns unless you upgrade your neural disruptor. Thing is you can stay on the enemy after you tase them, and their counter doesn't start. So I can sit on an enemy, so I don't want him to get up right away, and it kind of doesn't waste a turn of his counter, so to speak. So I'm going to move Decker over here, because I see a door, and I want the door. That's the only door, because you notice the one on the right has a red padlock kind of idea? That's because I need a key card to access that one. So now that we know what Decker has, here we go to International. So notice a bunch of stuff just popped up on the screen, because International basically has a field, a magnet field of some sort. I don't know how to explain it. Electromagnetic field of some sort that she can discover electronic equipment, and that thing is freaking out heavily. So that's creepy. So she can see things through walls as long as they're electronic. And notice now this is incognito mode. I'll get into that in a second. So notice that there's this terminal. I can go to it. It's the only action I have available to me. So I'm going to hack it to get power. So now I have 2 power. Oh, maybe I have 12 power actually. Sorry, it's cut off on the screen there. So again, this is a port from a PC version, and it seems like it was a very direct port. The writing is actually super small on the screen on a TV, so it comes off a bit rough from time to time. The controls are mapped well, but you could tell that it's a PC game. Like, I have to press R3 to change my camera angle instead of just moving R3 around, which just pans the camera around. The left stick is to move the cursor around. R2's to zoom in, L2's to zoom out, and then R1 and L1 are to move between characters. And then the button prompts as you see fit. So I'm going to choose Decker here. Actually, I'm going to take International for a second. I'm going to put her underneath here. At least she's covering. Oh, sweet. She found something else. So she got within range where she found something else. So I'm going to hack these 2 consoles to get more power. There you go. So we're at 19 now. Perfect. So it was a 10. We had 10 out of 20 power. Perfect. So now I'm going to use Decker. So I have 2 options available to Decker. I'm going to press the directional pad here, and I have peek, so I can peek through the door, so to speak, just to see if there's anything there. Or I can just basically open the door. And that's the danger of opening the door immediately, instead of peeking through and maybe understanding that there's someone there. Is that now he has been alerted. And now I'm going to have to do something I don't want to do this early, which is attack somebody. So what I'm going to have to do here is I'm going to take Decker here. I'm going to press square. I'm going to put him into ambush mode. Because notice how his field of view is impeding on my movement. That red square, the red lines, that means that camera up here is looking at me. And I'm pretty sure that might be him because he's looking this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into incognito mode. I'm pressing triangle. I'm going to go to the lockpick, which lockpicks any kind of electric device. And I'm going to hack that security camera. So now it's basically mine. So now I have view of that entire room. Had I peeked before opening the door, I probably would have seen that camera. I would have been able to hack it, and that guy would not have been alerted. And I would have been able to see that he was there as well. So think of it that way if you want. I will also hack this thing at the bottom here. It's a power supply. Power supplies allow you to toggle security gates open and closed. So I'm going to do that, and it's going to reveal where that security gate is. And then I could toggle it on and off. Whoops, I just did that wrong. Oh well. Again, another thing about this is that I'm at the whims of the movement of the stick, and it's not mouse oriented. So I'm going to turn the security gate back on just for the fun of it, just to show you that I have control of it now. So what did I actually unlock there for a second? That looks like a nano fabricator, which is, to me, not useful. So, okay. So, Decker's in ambush ready, because that guy's going to come walking through that door, and he's going to taser him. So we're going to end the turn. I press circle, end turn. And just like that, that guy's down. So now Decker, okay, and there's your explanation of the security levels. As it goes up, things happen. The bigger consequences will happen. Every time you hit the new number, almost like Counter Spy. If you've watched my Counter Spy video, you'll understand what I mean by that. Is that number, the DEFCON level in Counter Spy, this is the same principle. It's that as you get worse and worse, worse things are going to happen to you, i.e. more guards are going to show up, they're going to retake control of my cameras that I've hacked, or they're going to up the firewall, so it's going to take two instead of just hacking that camera like for the one time, it's going to require me 2 presses, which means it's 4 power to use, that kind of stuff. There's going to be larger consequences involved. So now that I tasered him, I'm going to use Decker, and I'm going to steal whatever he's got. And I'm hoping he has a security card, which he does. That's excellent. So I'm going to take that. I'm going to take the credits while we're at it. So I know there's 2 doors here, right? I could go this way, but I won't. So Decker is going to close this door. I like closing doors behind me just because it gives me a visual of where I've been. I know the idea would be, why would you not keep the door open? Because then you would know, because in my head, that works better. That way, one of the other guards comes through one of those other doors and has a line of sight, I'd be screwed. So close that door. So I know Deckard has the key card, so I'm going to move him over here. So notice how there's a KO and 3 over the enemy now? That means in 3 turns he will wake up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unlock the door using the key card. I'm going to open the door, because I always open the door. I never really peek beforehand. Instead of using Decker, I'm going to send him back over here, so I can keep pinning him. Worth mentioning, the Neural Disruptor, you just can't use every time. You have a 3-turn cooldown with it, so it becomes part of the strategy involved in making sure that you don't waste it kind of idea. So I'm going to go back into incognito mode here, and I'm going to hack this safe. Because hacking a safe makes it unlock, because I know that I'm going to be walking through here with incognito, so I'm going to do this. So that was dangerous, because there was a camera there. But we're okay. And I'm going to take the money from said safe. Just like that. Perfect. So now I can do a bunch of stuff. So this camera is not operational right now. It will be as the security level increases. But Decker's pinning that guy down, and I'm okay with that. So I'm going to move International over here. And I will not open the door on this turn. Just because I can't really run away or act on it, because I only have 1 AP left. So we're going to end the turn. We'll see what happens here. So on enemy turn, just like in XCOM or other most turn-based strategy games, they have their movements. The guards are really just A, B point guys until you alert them. So once you realize their pattern, you can work around that. So I'm going to open this door.
The executive terminal is the large device with the simplified controls. There.
So now I alerted that dummy. So I'm going to peek across. And now here's an interesting one. It would be interesting if he hadn't alerted, but I can observe him. So I can predict the guard's movement. So he's making a beeline for me, because he's been alerted by the door opening. And we know that that's the console I want. So I'm going to hack it right now. Just that way the next turn I'm ready for it. So I'm going to send her into ambush mode. Actually, I could be cheeky here. Is there a camera involved here? Is that just his... His cone is huge. Yeah, because he'd notice me here. I was going to say I could sneak around here, put him here, so when he walks over, he wouldn't see me. And thus not needing me to actually tase him. Or neural disruptor him, however you want to consider it. But apparently I can't do that because his cone of vision is huge. So we'll have to sit here, put her into ambush mode, close the door just for the sake of being funny. Decker's still pinning this guy down because I want to stay at that point. Because what's going to happen is once I hack the terminal, I need to find the exit point. Like she said, the portal jumper or exit or whatever she called it, which is in itself part of the challenge, is finding that room that has that elevator. There's only the one, or the teleporter. Thank you. That's what it is. Thank you. I don't know who I'm thanking, but we have to find the teleporter to get out. So that's the second part of this level, is once you get the objective, you have to get out of the building, which is the only way is through those portals. So here is, I'm actually slightly fearful, no, because that door's open. If that door would have been here instead, he would have walked a straight line. He may have actually potentially have seen Decker there. So that's why it's important in my head to close all the doors behind you, which I failed to do in this turn for International. So here we go. I do like the sound effects in this game. I think they fit well with the cartoonish aspects of it. So here we go. Here we go. We talked the site list.
Got it. Great. When you activated that terminal, it sent out an automated message to change up the guard duty. Be prepared for new patrol patterns.
So what she's getting at is, had I not alerted this guy, let's say, and he was doing his little patrol in this room here, he's going back and forth in whatever pattern he had, he would change that now. He would potentially go up into this room and start patrolling here, or change the pattern. Instead of going this way to this way, he would be going around here instead, or something along those lines, which would change perhaps your ability to get around that room. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send International back over here just to pin him down. I'm going to steal whatever he has. Oh good, so I each have a security card now. That's actually excellent, because then I'm not reliant on Decker to get it done. Alright, so I know there's a door over here, and there's a security wall over here. There's also a door here. There's a few doors. So what I think my best bet is to head towards that security gate in some way, shape, or form. I think using this door would be the most advantageous at this point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually bail Decker off of this guy. I'm going to open the door. I'm going to peek through. So I found a safe and another door. I can use that to my advantage. So let's go in. Again, close the door behind me. And it doesn't cost, I should mention that, it doesn't cost an action point to close the door. It causes you use up an action point if you peek. So that part of the strategy again. That's why opening the door seems more advantageous than just peeking through, because then I'm wasting a move. So I'm going to hack this safe, just because I know I'm going to be walking by it. There's another safe in that other room, and it's a double. So notice how there's a 2 on that? That means I'm using 2 power for this. I still only have 10 of 20. So I have to kind of maximize my ability here. So I'm going to do that anyways, just to give you a full effect. And I know I have a key card, so I'll make my way to that one. I'm going to go here, I'm going to come around, because I want to get Incognito with me into this room at some point. I don't like splitting them up, because the thing is once you get to the teleporter, both of your agents have to be in the teleporter for you to escape successfully. Otherwise, you're leaving the one person behind. So I'm going to end the turn, because I can't really do much anymore. So we're about to get to threat level 1 here. So I can't even get to him, that sucks. Alright, so I'm going to just sprint here. So I'm going to send Decker here, I'm going to take the money over here. And then I'm going to make my way to this door. I'm going to unlock it. See, I can't peek through now because I have no action points remaining. So I'm going to have to wait a turn to peek through so I don't go in completely blind.
Alarm level 1.
So now that we reach alarm, they've cracked Incognito's first level of encryption. Be careful, the next alarm levels will be quite dangerous. So it's just like, hey, FYI, we're at that point now. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to close this door behind me. I'm going to walk into this one. I'm going to close this door. So this guy I know is not going to wake up for another turn. This guy, in theory, should not also be waking up. So we're good for that sense. So I'm going to get Decker to peek into this room. Okay, so that's good. So instead of using that door, I can use this door. So that's good. So I'm going to walk in here, take this money. So I'm kind of super successfully doing this. And walk over here. And I'm going to put ambush on. It doesn't cost any points to use ambush, so that's useful. And I'm going to do this just in the event that someone decides to pop through a door at some point. I don't think so. So now he's awake again. So Incognito had best be moving. Because I don't need her to go into this room, I won't bother. I only have 9 power, so I think I'm going to send Decker over here to hack this terminal. So notice how I could do it from a range with International. I can't do it with Decker. I have to be at the terminal. So there you go, 4 power. Set you back up at the door here. Open said door. Okay, so now we got something that's in our line of sight here. What is it? It's just a camera. Okay, we're good for that. So it's a good thing I got some... Might as well hack that corporate safe. So notice how the security gate is now rebooting. That's because the alarm level has raised. And we're gonna take this money. Oh nice, it has a stem pack in it. And we're gonna close the door behind us. So International's kind of stuck here for the time being, so, but she's got cover, so it should be okay. We'll see what that guard wants to do here. Okay, so he didn't do much. That's good. That's good. That's good. All right, so we'll send. Oh boy, that's a tricky area because the desks don't allow you to do much else than get right into the door. I have no choice but to peek here. Just because I don't want to open that door and have a guard right in front of me, because then I have no action points remaining to move. Now the problem is that Decker can't go any farther than International. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send him over here. Close the door. Just in case that guard decides to be funny about it and come across. So I'm going to set both of them to ambush just in the event of... See, he's got... Oh boy. Okay. So we might have to get a bit violent on this one here. So if the guard's not looking at the door, or isn't close enough, he will not be alerted by the fact that the door opened. That's an important part of that. So that's why it's important to peek from time to time instead of just barreling through. So I don't think he'll see me, because he'll turn around, but I will observe him. See what his pattern is. See, he's going back that way, so I think we'll be okay if I did this. Now Decker I'll send in, because I know we're okay here. Close the door. Now I know he won't see Decker either. So I'll send her to ambush, and Decker I'll just keep him there. Now this is, yeah, let's hack it. We'll do that. So I'm going to change the camera angle here just to see, like I could in theory go after him right now. But I'll let him take a walk. So I can maybe get to the safe and then get back into my position. $400 credits, nice. So he's staring at the wall like a dummy. So I can literally go here. Got some more consoles. And I don't think he'd actually see me if he turns around. I'm not going to take that chance this time though. Plus, I may be able to steal something off of him, which is hopefully more money. Oh, a charge pack, excellent. So now I could, in theory, charge my neural disruptor. Oh, excellent! Look, so I didn't even notice it in the first run, but the teleporter's right here. So I made the right choice by coming this way. Is basically what I'm getting at. So I'm gonna just take. I don't need it, but we're gonna take some. We're gonna hack the consoles here. And I will charge up. Okay, maybe I can. Yeah, charge device. There you go. So I used up the charge pack, and now I only have 1 turn of cooldown instead of 3, which is useful. Okay, so I can't move any of my people. I could, but I mean, Decker moving once is... Yeah, what the hell. At least he's hiding now. At least both of them are behind cover. So I'm going to send him into ambush mode in case someone decides to come around one of those corners. On the turn.
Alarm level 2. Additional cameras activated.
So that's a level 2.
Surveillance level increased.
Thank you. So level 2 is here, so now there's extra cameras kicking around. Or they might even be trying to reboot. Yeah, so they're going to reboot a camera that I hacked earlier. As well, but we're already out of here. Like I could, in theory, go around and find another safe or anything of the sort, but I've had my fill with this level, and I don't want to risk it any further, so we won't do that. What? Oh, okay. Oh boy, there's a camera there. Oh, that was close. Well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing I didn't. Oh boy, that was close. All right. So now that he's in there, I can make her run, but she can't make it yet. So I'm going to kind of hide around the corner here. Again, in the event of something happening, and I'm putting her in ambush, so if someone comes walking around that corner, they'll see Decker, but I'm hoping that she could be able to get that person beforehand. And there we go. Send her into the... And exit the level. And there we are.
That contact list will prove invaluable when planning our next move. Excellent work.
So, that's the challenge. I found levels where I found the teleporter, like, first, and then had to find the objective, which actually becomes super handy because then you know exactly once you get to your objective, you know your direct line to the teleporter, and actually it becomes a much easier level. Like that one, I had to play it a bit safer because I just wasn't familiar with what was happening. Here's the upgrade system. It's really straightforward. You have 1,880 credits. You can spend it on upgrading your two people, your two agents. I like giving International a bit more hacking just because it gives me 1 extra power per hack. So, like, why wouldn't I? Speed is always useful because it's 1 more AP per turn. And Strength and Anarchy have their reasons to exist. I just don't buy into them early on. Do I give International 3 movement? Or do I give Decker 3? I'll give Decker 3 because he's at a disadvantage because he can't do much from a distance.
I've re-established contact with Monster. His network picked up the attack just before it hit us, and we're working to trace it back to the source. In the meantime, he's offered to sell us some of his more rarefied stock.
Greetings. I don't often perform transactions face-to-face, but Gladstone is an old friend.
Thank you, Monster. If we find their central server, we may be able to bring them down.
So that's what that list gave us, is 4 new areas. So, and they're very different now. Instead of just executive terminals, so the cybernetics lab is something where we can find terminals to augment our agents. Server farm,
server farms are used to develop new network security technologies. We may find code that we can use to improve our infiltration routines.
I don't know what server farms really do at the end of the day. Nanofabs.
Not all nanofabs are created equal. The one at this location is a more versatile model used to make more complex items. Just think of the wonderful toys we could make.
Nanofab terminals are basically shops, so you can buy your stuff. So we're going to go to cybernetics.
The corporations make a brisk trade selling augments to the public, but they keep the best quality time with an augment implanter if we infiltrate here.
Okay, let's go to the cybernetics lab because it'll show you the secondary upgrade system in the augments and
Destination lock acquired.
Those.
Coordinate threshold 99.9%.
Okay, and I think that'll probably be it. I mean, this game plays basically the same way. A lot of time it just becomes increasingly difficult as you finish up the day. I could potentially show you the my 3rd day level people. Okay, so this room is pretty straightforward, I guess. We'll just do that, and we'll send it to International here so nobody gets spotted. Open a door. And I'll try and breeze through this one a bit here. So now, good peek, and we know that's not we won't be able to get through that, so... Perfect. She can't go much farther, so might as well go over here. Oh nice, she spotted a console, so we'll hack that. We'll open a door for you. I really gotta start learning to peek better. Alrighty, we'll put him in ambush mode. And let's have at it. So once you get to the higher difficulty levels, there are armored guards. Of course there are. And they are basically impenetrable to your neural devices. So you have to like start playing it exceptionally safe. And kind of play it closer to the vest, so to speak. What to do. I could go here, which would then just open up a bit more of that, but we know that room's a dead end. I open that gate for later. Okay, let's steal whatever you have first. Oh, there's a security code, that's good, okay. Let's go incognito up here. Oh, she spotted a bunch of stuff, that's good. Let's hack that console. Hack that console. Hack this guy. Hack that safe because they're most likely going to walk into that room. Peek. Nothing of any out of the ordinary, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to send this guy over here. Do this. And we'll put you over here, just in case.
You located the cyber lab.
Well, that was easy.
Let's leave this mission with better agents than we started with.
Alright. That works. Let's peek to make sure there's nobody in that room. Oh, that's excellent. Excellent. Okay. So let's close your door for now. Let's close your door. End the turn. So there are 2 cybernetic consoles per room, and that becomes useful because you do this. She won't be able to get to that one this turn, so I'm gonna send her over here just because I know where the doors are. There are 3 of them. Oh, that's not one of them. Shucks. All right. Well, at least you'll get to see it so I just hacked them because we need to access them. And now here we go. So we are graphed. We can augment international. So I can do one of two things. I can just give her the piercing scanner, augment right away, and it installs it onto her augment socket. Or I can have her basically go to sleep for 2 turns to add another augment socket. So you're playing a risk or reward game. The last night's game I was playing, what ended up happening was I did so for both of them. I put them to sleep for 2 turns just so they can get the extra augment slot, and that ended up blowing up in my face completely. It ended up absolutely a disaster. So now that I did that, oh, they recaptured the...
We must have triggered something in their telemetry. They're toggling the power onto some of the devices we've taken.
So now that I've alerted them, quote unquote. So I'll just have to take that back, but I don't think I will have to. So let's get Decker over here. We're gonna graft him some anatomy analysis. And then he can't do much, so we're gonna... Alright, so we got a camera. So might as well hack that right now so I can see what the room looks like. Not sure. Can't tell. It's a long hallway. I'd be pretty miffed if there wasn't if this here wasn't part of the teleporter, but we'll have to find out. Decker can only move 3, but what I'll do is I'll move him over here just in case someone comes walking through that door that I left open like a dummy on the right. And International will close this door again. Gotta be safe, gotta be safe. So I could be making the wrong choice here. Like I truly don't know. So I'm gonna hack this terminal. I don't know what that is. We'll move Decker over here. There it is, excellent. That was a pure guess on my part, but it was the right guess, I guess. Ha! So notice how, compared to the first level, I kind of did my own thing without having to explain every movement, and that's how quick some of these levels can go. However, just as quickly, this game could go awry very, very quickly.
Nothing like a little self-improvement session to make our task a bit easier.
One wrong
Nice
room,
work.
going into one wrong room too quickly, too brash, and forgetting you don't have your neural disruptor ready because you used it 2 turns ago and it's not ready yet, can cause some epic problems. So I didn't get any safes there, so I didn't get any money. That's the downfall of playing that round so quickly.
This thing for a client. Real motivated seller.
So he's willing to sell me that, but I don't want it. Now I can sell these items as well. I can sell the cloak, I could smell the neural disruptor if I want, I could smell the stim pack. But, I mean, what? Why? I mean, the stim pack, you could argue that, yeah, probably a good idea to sell it, but whatever. Alright, so that went pretty quickly.
I think we're getting somewhere. Monster will explain.
You guys are good at covering your tracks. You've been hitting the corpse for years, but they've never been able to follow you home. I guess they were too distracted fighting each other to bother. Or maybe you were...
What we do, we do.
Well, you must have
This is
finally
just
done
the
something
usual
to get their
trope.
undivided attention.
One
Super
that
spy
could
agency
host
trope
incognita.
stuff.
Right.
Enough to wipe their security record.
Long story
That's
short,
jumping it. They're still looking for...
And then we can... Well then.
is we're just looking for a gigantic server so we could put incognita in, and then she can infiltrate from the inside. So I'm going to do this. I'm going going to save and exit because this game's actually going pretty well. I'm doing it pretty well. But now I'm going to show you what my game from last night looks like.
I read an increased chatter across just a couple of more rounds.
Provided we survive.
So I only have 7 hours left before Incognita dies. Her battery power goes to crap. So you notice there's detention centers as well. Notice how, I don't know if you did notice, but if you go back and notice that big red 3 on the side of there? For the first levels that I was doing, it had a 1, because that's like the difficulty level, so to speak. So now I'm at 3s and 4s. There should be a couple 4s here kicking around, unless I wiped those out already. Oh, there it is. So there's a 4, right? And they're executive terminals. So it's not the type of level or the type of objective. It's more just so that you should expect increased resistance kind of idea. So let's do detention center. So your loadout that I started with, like the Decker International, Power Drip, and Lockpick, that's your loadout for the entire game. So if one of your agents die and you end up escaping with the other, you play with the one agent the rest of the game until you are game over, basically. What the detention centers do is you have the ability to actually go and rescue. So I say dead, but they've been captured, I guess is a better way of putting it. And that's what the detention centers are, is you have the ability to go and recapture one of your fallen agents kind of idea. Security dispatch, I don't know what they are. I mean, I know what they are. They're like a security fortress kind of idea. I don't know why one would go to one of those. However, nanofab, server farm. So there's not much. Well, we'll go to the vault.
This is a corporate treasure house. It should be stuffed with credits and valuable artifacts that would do far more good in our coffers. The best stuff will need a blank key card, though, so temper your expectations if you don't bring one.
So I should have... What she's basically saying is that in the upgrade system, which is where I could be here, I wonder if we have a blank key card available to us. No.
I'm surprised it took the corpse this long to finally go after you.
So yeah, just shut up, monster. So a blank key card is important because there are... Everybody needs to stop talking.
They're completely ruthless when
My lord.
Site security breached.
Basically, the blank key card she was referring to is there's always in the upper level game upper difficulty levels, there's always a secondary room to the objective room that has a bigger rewards. The thing is that you require these blank key cards to do it. I had one in this save. I had one and I used it in a nanofab, a cybernetics room, and it gave me a secondary cybernetic room. So it gave me 4 upgrades instead, kind of idea. So that was super useful. Alright, so here we are. Get to the vault, basically. So International, I'm going to send Decker over here, just to see what this corner is like. Okay, so key card, that's not going to help. Alrighty, so we got cameras. Okay, so this little blinky thing is a sound bug. If I walk through it, it basically alerts. Kind of idea. It's pretty simple concept, right? You notice I could move around a lot more because I've jacked up a lot of their, like his speed is maxed now. So yeah, I think he has 12 movement or 11 movement, whereas International is jacked up under hacking. So I can get a lot more power that way. So we're gonna exit that. We're gonna open this door. We're gonna peek through, which is usually my standard operating. All right, so we found the elevator. Excellent. So, but what we also did find is this door, which is actually useful because otherwise we would have no other door to actually exit from. So we're gonna send her in. We're gonna send Decker in, and we'll close the door behind him. Because all we want is really to get to that door at the bottom there. And that's pretty much all there is to it at this point. So we know we have movement, because we just heard him, because we're in an adjacent door. Basically all that was because we're at an adjacent room. So now we know that guard's there. I will peek. And we're going to observe, see what his pattern's like. So his pattern is pretty directly towards that door. So I'm going to do this, and this is pretty interesting. I can sneak around him, kind of idea. Because he's got it back to me, I can do this. So how many turns does Decker have? Yeah, 12. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to close this door. Again, just for my own mentality than anything else. So the idea is that once he turns around, he's not going to see any of us. I may have screwed this up, actually, now that I think about it, because he has to turn around. Therefore, does he? I can't remember if he turns around at like a 180 degree or if he like pivots real quick and thus his cone doesn't see us. We'll have to see and figure it out. Yeah, so he just kind of pivots real quick. So that's what makes it easy to kind of spin around and get around corners and stuff real quick. And I think that's the right way of doing that. So again, there's that sound bug there.
Terminal.
Well, that was quick.
Now get over there and finish the job.
So now, this guy. This jerk is an enforcer. Heart monitor, the alarm increases if the unit dies. Okay. So now I can do one of two things here. I can sneak around the corner here. Well, I'm going to observe him first and foremost to see what his pattern is like. So it's actually around that corner. So I'm going to come around here. Because, yeah, actually this might actually be safe. So here's that second vault door. Had I had a blank key card, that would have been a useful thing to have, so to speak.
That triggered a silent alarm. Expect company very soon.
So now I just unlocked these 4 little guys, which is what I needed to get the money. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send Decker in. Take as much money as I can here. So notice how even like the slightest hiccup in the system kind of idea will cause greater consequences. Like that enforcer is a dangerous guy. He's not fun to deal with. He's quick. He's got the scanning ability. He's a real jerk basically. I'm gonna send her over here. I'm gonna take some power. Take the money. So now I don't know what that door is, but I know it won't lead back to my teleporter, so there's no point of me getting there, going through that door, unless I use it as a safe haven, so to speak. However, so now I'm gonna move her back here. We're gonna observe his movements. It's the same pattern, so that's good. So we haven't alerted him. So we're gonna sit tight on this round and hope that I can kind of escape at least Decker out without having that jerk enforcer coming around the corner here. So I'm going to send Decker back to his standard position because that seems like the appropriate thing to do. I'm going to send Incognita up here. I'm going to do this. This I actually... We might be... so that means I'm going to have to wait a turn. Oh no, he's going to throw a scanner. Oh no. Oh no. That's not good. Okay, so he's going to follow that same pattern. He's going to come beeline it. So, what am I to do here? I'm going to send him up here. Back around the corner here. Put him in ambush mode. Put her down here. And put her in ambush mode. Just in case that enforcer comes around the corner. I don't know how far he's actually going to get. So we're going to have to just see what's going to happen here. So he's going to follow that same pattern. Alright. So I need to get Decker out of that way because that's Incognita's running spot. So get Decker up there. I might have actually survived this, everybody. This is actually pretty neat. I'm actually pretty pleased with myself. Now this was fairly easy. Other than that enforcer being a bit of a pain in the ass.
Investigating area.
See, he's onto us. Like, he's like, oh no, they're not here anymore. But we survived it. Now, did I get any major money? Did I get... it was a vault mission, so I did.
Anything you recover from the field benefits the cause, but I can't help wonder what they were hiding in the inner vault.
I'm actually really pleased with that. That was actually a good time. That was good. I'm pleased with the results there. Now, this will be the end of the game, I guess.
Holding this thing for a client.
Ooh, a bi-giant dart gun. That would have been fun.
You won't beat this price.
There you go. Jack up her movement. Day 4, but we're at 0 hour.
Tracing.
Target resolved.
That's practically in my backyard. How the hell...
Plot a direct course.
Thank me later.
Operator, ready the team. This is...
Oh, so it's... Okay, so this is the actual end game. Okay, that's neat. That's what they mean by that. Okay. Well, with that said, I guess I'm gonna leave that be because I don't want to stream a disaster of the end game. Because I don't know what to expect for this end game. So I thank you everybody for watching. Feel free to leave a comment. Tell me if you want me to record the end of this, and we may. I won't play it until the video gets posted, or well after the fact. Give people some time to watch it, and let me know if you guys want to see the end game. I'll keep a save prior to, and that way we can kind of hopefully get through this. So thanks a lot, everybody. This has been Eric from NorthernNerd.com. Thank you everybody for watching, and visit the website and tell us what you think. Don't hesitate whatsoever. Thank you very much. Bye bye.